Hey guys, PhysioFred here, back with Project Stunt, with the goal to make resources for more people to get into partner stunt. Today's video, we'll be talking about another foundational concept and technique called riding the stunt. Every stunt can be made easier with this technique, especially when you start learning spinning skills. This video will be covering what riding the stunt means, common mistakes, and how to improve it with some example drills. Riding the stunt. Riding the stunt in its most simple terms refers to the flyer going with the momentum. When we perform a stunt, there is the dip, the drive, the catch, and the settle phase of each stunt. Video link in the description if you want to know more details on that. Now, riding the stunt mostly happens in the drive phase of the stunt. A quick refresher on the drive phase is that it's all about transferring the momentum from the base into the flyer until the release point. At the release point, the base and flyer flick together for extra height and guidance of direction. At the same time this happens, the flyer starts to make major changes in their body position, especially if it's a twisting or inverting skill. Or in special cases, like a walk-up, there isn't a true release point, but a point where the stunt needs to turn in a direction. If the flyer changes body position before the base's release point, or the base releases prematurely, the total energy transferred into the flyer will be reduced, which will impact how high you can get the stunt. This is important as when you add difficulty to the stunts, such as spinning, or going to one leg or to one arm, you're going to need this extra height. So perfect technique would be both the base and the flyer driving and riding together, and only start to twist, turn or flick at the release point to get the maximum height. I really want to emphasize that the height comes from the drive and the guidance comes from the flick. Okay, now let's talk about common mistakes. So the first thing we're going to look at is walk-ups. So most of the time, the first thing that happens is that the base or the flyer will turn too early before finishing their drive. So with this lovely lady flyer here, she turns too soon, causing us to get pulled out of our stunt line. We get pulled out to the side and require a few steps to stabilize the stunt at the top. This flyer usually practices walk to hands, so when we go to the top, she has to get used to riding for longer so that I can finish the drive, get the height, and then turn at the top together. Something a lot of flyers have trouble with when they progress from walk or toss hands to walk or toss top skills. This is why we do the walk-up drill, to give you the chance to feel when the drive is finished and when you should be turning. However, this also applies to the base because sometimes they do turn their hands early. A really good drill that I learned from one of my good friends, Mike, is to do the toss or walk drill. Then as the base, at the very top of the extension, you're going to squeeze to let the flyer know when they should be turning or when they should be flicking. Riding the stunt doesn't just apply to tosses and walks, but to every stunt. In this example, we get pulled to one side. If I stayed longer on the feet to guide the stunt towards the center, the flyer can ride it more. But I'm just rushing it, and then my flyer just has to quickly pull her feet out of my hands to hit the lib, making things just a little bit more unstable, and it's going to make it a lot harder when I go to one-arm libs. And just like I talked about the stunt being pulled over to one side, the same thing happens here when I try to go for that one-arm lib. The way to improve the ride is to practice the dip and drive section of each stunt and aim for quality, control, and consistency each time. I would suggest 3 to 5 reps of the dip and drive section of a particular skill to build awareness. Do them in a row without breaks and without speaking in between. This is to get an idea of the average way the stunt moves and feels, rather than getting caught up in semantics. This is why you do the toss drills, the walk-up drills, and any other dip and drive drills. It's not there to pass the time, they are there to refine your technique and set you up for future skills. You're practicing the kinesthetic sense on feeling how far the dip goes down, how fast the drive goes up, when does the flyer or base release, twist or flick during the drive? Does it feel too late? Does it feel too early? And so on. Because everything is happening so fast, you need a drill that you can practice a lot that doesn't tire you out too quickly. This is to really hone in on each other's body movements and reinforce good habits that will become automatic. Okay, so after performing 3 to 5 reps of the drill, you can move on to one drill, one skill. Then, if that's consistent, just repping out the skill as normal and returning back to the one drill, one skill whenever the timing is off. For conditioning, near the end of your stunt session, you can get someone to assist you like this to get in some extra reps. Just don't do this when you're fresh, as you don't want to rely on the assistance. That's it for the video. Thank you for staying until the end. Make sure to keep driving and riding together and practice those drills to really get a feel for when the release point is. If you had anything else that helped with riding the stunt better, have a question, or just want to say thanks, drop a comment down below. Otherwise, like if you found this video useful, and sub if you want to see more content like this. I'm Physio Fred for Project Stunt. Stay safe, happy stunting, and I'll see you guys in the next video.